Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you about Long Pigs, a found footage movie from 2007. Before I go any further, please subscribe, it's free. Like if you like the video, comment if you have something that you want to share. So the movie gets a 5.8. This is gonna be a spoiler review, so I'll try to warn people when I'm going into spoiler territory. A 5.8, which is not a bad score, is actually pretty well for a found footage movie. It's I mentioned that this is for 2007, and I'm giving it a 6 because I kind of agree with IMDb, but I don't. I'm always doing 5, 5.5, 6. So I'm giving it a 6. It's something that I may watch again. Directed by Nathan Hines and Chris Power. Now these two guys are also in the movie. Also two leads in the movie. The lead is a man called Anthony Alviano. That's the actor's name. Called Anthony McAllister in the movie. Now I have to say this guy really. I mean, the acting of this guy is really good. He really stays in character, and although this isn't a comedy at all, he there are comedic moments put in there, like also the soundtrack, and then the way he's acting and he's thinking this is all normal. And so basically Simon and Chris are documentarians who are a little bit rock bottom, and they're not, they're not doing anything that's successful. So they found something that may be successful, and it's following this serial killer called Anthony McAllister. Now everybody's looking for this guy, but he's undetectable. Um, so the movie starts out with Anthony saying to Simon and Chris, uh, oh sorry, it's Chris. I think Chris Power plays Chris, but Simon's somebody else. I think he's the. It's Nathan. Sorry, it's Nathan. Sorry, my mistake. Nathan is one of the documentarians. So Nathan and Chris are following this guy, and the movie starts out that Anthony says, "I'm gonna make you guys a good stew," and so and he's like super okay. He, how he's gonna do this. I mean, that's a different story. So he picks up a hooker, this really, and he's kind of going through a street where all these street prostitutes are, this, and he's kind of, oh, that one's cute, but it's not the right. The flesh is too stringy. It's too stringy. So he's basically analyzing them all. A muscular woman, muscles make the meat too. It's, it's it's not. It doesn't melt in your mouth. Ah, bingo. So they find this fairly sorry, this fairly big woman, and they proceed to take her home with him. And he says, "No, no, let's go to my mother is sleeping above, so we gotta do it a little bit more discreet. Let's go to the basement. I got a whole setup and things there." And she, she goes there and she's talking to the documentarian makers, Nathan and Chris, and she out of nowhere gets a sledgehammer on her fucking head. Like in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface hits somebody in the head with a hammer. So she's dead with the first whack, and then he wants to take her by the head, by the hair, but she has a wig on, and then he says, laughing, like, "Oh, uh, we, her fake name was something like Deborah. We hardly knew you." And then he's making it comedic in a way, but then something happens that I thought was, oh fuck. So he, like a wild buck, that you you shut down and you hang upside down to let it bleed out. He's doing the same thing. He's taking all the clothes off and he's hanging her like wild, like a wild buck. Slices the main artery and holds a pen underneath, so all the blood comes out. One of the documentarians is puking his guts out. So, and he's saying, "Oh, Nathan, everything okay, buddy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chris, you take over." So, and now he's explained the entire thing. So you get to see the entire progress he's going through. How to flay a body, which are the best pieces to eat, and all that shit. And he's taking out the entrails, and it looks a lot like he says it himself. It looks a lot like Ed Gein's work. That Ed Gein had a body in real life, basically hung up like a buck, a deer, and then basically cut open from privates to, yeah, and beheaded. Uh, he's doing kind of the same thing, and then he does something that's so disgusting, and I'm kind of, oh, I had to look away. So what he does is he says, we need to we need to get we need to sew the intestines shut, you know the and then from the asshole. So he's basically taking out, uh he's going into her ass, and he's taking out this intestine where you shit through, and he's basically sewing it shut. And the reason why he's doing that is because if a lot of bodies apparently shit themselves even when they're dead, he says it will spoil the meat. So he's doing that out of hygienic reasons. And that really had me. Oh fuck! That I don't want to eat seeing this. Yeah. So eventually he's making his stew, and nobody wants to taste it because they're like, no, 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 thanks. And he's enjoying it, like, oh, it's like an orgasm in the mouth. And then he's doing that entire process again with an asshole, which who you kind of wanted to see killed, but then he kills him, and then you see that entire progress again, what he did with the prostitute, but in fast paced. So and the reason why I'm saying that it has a comedic undertone because he's doing it in fast pace, and then on the mute on this tune of music, so he's basically doing it super, basically completely getting rid of the body, slicing it up, putting it in these packs that you, if you go to a butcher, they put the meat in the packs. And then he does something and he says, this is the least fun bit of the progress. I need to pulverize the bones and put them in the furnace, and that's how you don't get caught. because i.e. the evidence and the bones are basically destroyed to ashes. So he's smart. He's a very smart killer, although he there's a there's a moment when the first victim he killed was a little girl, 12 years old. Now, during the following of Nathan, we always go to this police detective, and then the documentarians are going to a police detective, knowing full well who the killer is, and to this uh, criminology specialist and why they kill, somebody like that. And the detective is like, if I will find him, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. If he does one wrong thing, he says, I'm gonna probably, you know, shoot one off. Yeah, he's really frustrated. It's about 12 years long that this guy's killing people, 10 dozens and dozens of people. But he's saying about the girl never found, and he's linking her to this same killer. And so, meanwhile, they're talking with this detective and this psychiatrist of the insane, and they full well know who the killer is, and he's killing in the meantime, making his stew. And there's one moment when they ask Anthony to go to one of the victims their family's home, basically the little girl's dad, and he still has hope to finding her, and he's using the camera crew, showing the picture, please, talking to the killer, maybe please let her go, please let her go. And Anthony is there playing a sound guy, but he's not really a sound guy. But okay, he goes in, and because they before they went in, they asked him, "Are you gonna still do this?" He says, "No, no, it takes too much hassle, and it wasn't well done, and there's too much people involved. I'm not gonna take the risk anymore." But I did it. I did it fast. I did it fast. And then he goes in. He's standing there with the dad saying, "What would you do if you see the killer? I'll kill him. I kill her. If she's killed, I'll kill him. I kill him. I will take vengeance." And then you see Anthony like doing this. Like I said, those are the little comedic touches that he's doing like this. Then they're standing outside, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's completely, yeah, he's fucked up. You can see that he has kind of he has remorse, and he's like, fuck, intense. He said, intense. But he sees the playing ground and all these children, and he says, "Yeah, listen, it's like a supermarket." He says, so basically, all these kids are. It's so easy to get them, and it's like a supermarket. But I can't. I can't. I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna stop now. And then eventually, there's also a moment when their car. They kill the guy, and their car breaks down, and there's a farm, but apparently it's a pig farm, and Anthony's going to the pig farm like a kid in Wonderland because they're killing fucking pigs, and he's like, whoa, whoa, seeing how they do it and trying to learn what they do, but then doing that on humans. They fix their tire and all. It's just um, so yeah. Now going to spoilers. Okay, so this movie is basically it's a really good, well crafted movie. You would okay, It starts out kind of snuffy, but it isn't a snuff movie. It's you only get to see two kills. One, and the first one is the most like snuff movie esque kind of kill, but the but she's dead, of course. She's not alive anymore. Like I said, she gets a sledgehammer to the head. He always kills his victims immediately. If not with a hammer, it's with a silencer, a gun with a silencer right through the head. And it's it's really well done in a way that how he's doing it, what he's doing to, try to avoid the law, and that he's very smart, but he's even taking these guys because he's also not just somebody who goes in and out. I'm gonna take a victim. He's scoping people out. He has somebody scoped out, but then he wants to take it to documentarians. They're helping him, and basically they're like accomplices at some point, helping him. Uh, Nathan constantly pukes, and Chris is really, yeah, he's really just follow. He's a guy who doesn't really care. It's just weird. It's fucked up. And then so like I said, if you want, I recommend this movie. It's really well, it's put together really well, and the acting is great, especially from the killer, is really great. Uh, and there are moments like the humanity comes out because he also has a mom who is really sick, who has these attacks, these aggressive attacks, but later on she dies. She's in a, of course, she's not at his home. She's in a elderly home, right? And you see that he's kind of, you know, you can see that he has emotions and that he's taking the ashes and that he's gonna, to scatter the ashes somewhere where his mom wanted it to do, and it there is some kind of emotion in there, but he's always hungry. It's like almost like his sickness. When he eats regular meat, he's like, "Ooh," he needs to have human meat. And it's like I said, really, really well acted. The soundtrack is actually, like I said, that song when it's morbid, but the song, it's great for that scene. So, and there are a few comedic moments in there that they fuck up, and then they're with the documentarians, and like I said, he scoped one out, but then there's a dog, and they have to get the fuck out of there, and meanwhile Nathan is still puking and puking. It's just, I mean, he's always puking. I mean, it's a there's a fun element to it, but at the same time it's grotesque. Yeah, but the way the killer portrays himself, the actor who he portrays the kill, he even made this YouTube video that, yeah. He said at some point he says, when I get caught into in prison, I'll make a book how to cook humans. So he's really he's out there, right? So I recommend this one. Now spoilers. The guy, I mean, obviously, I mean, if you think about it, these two documentarians, they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they're following a serial killer who's showing them every single detail. Meanwhile, behind his back, they're going to a police detective, and a like I said, multiple people, the father of that girl, like I said, the crime psychiatrist. I mean, they're interviewing other people, and there's a point in the movie when Anthony kind of wants them to stay back. I think it's the point that he knows that he actually said too much and that he let them know too much. The idea was that they will sell the documentary and then give him money, right? But if that documentary would come in, would come open free, that I mean, he would get caught, right? And he's starting to know that he did a bad deal. And the documentarians, they're so stupid that they don't understand how dangerous, what a dangerous game they're actually playing. So they're doing the last shot, and it's with New Year's Eve, and they're standing on it's on a square, you know, like because the movie is shot in Canada, it's like a Madison Square, New York type square, but and everybody's saying Happy New Year, and he says, Happy New Year, let's get the fuck out, he says, and you can see on his face he's kind of bummed, but it's not because he's bummed, because he knows that he fucked up with these documentarians. So at his home, they're drinking a one last beer, and Chris has to go to the bathroom, and Nathan has to clean the uh, the lens of his camera. So he's cleaning it, and then he's seeing and he sees an angry Anthony coming towards him with a sledgehammer. Boink! He kills Nathan. Then Chris is coming out, and he tries to kill Chris too, but Chris can overcome him and smack I think it was a piece of glass in his face, and he runs away yelling, and basically what happens, he goes to jail, doesn't even get the death penalty. I'm not sure in Canada if the death penalty exists, or I mean, it comes out that he killed like the little girl, he killed dozens of people. I mean, that should give him the death penalty. I'm not sure if, like I said, Canada still has the death penalty. And he's doing the shit that he wanted to do, like write a book. And he's actually a cook in the prison. And it's also something weird through all through the movie. You have this guy, a radio host, and you only see his mouth, and he has like not a well shaved face, and you see his teeth, and he's always like it's weird. He's talking about things, people disappearing, and about this guy, the asshole who disappeared was actually a son of a senator, and then he's talking about, and you see him doing like this, yeah. So hopefully they catch this guy. Weird, it's weird. And I thought, okay, this guy has to do something, because I knew there was a twist at the end. Now the twist apparently is that one gets away, and he goes to jail, Anthony. And the other twist is that the Chris, the lone survivor of the document, he gets a multi-million-dollar deal, but he gets shot through the head by the dad of the little girl. Remember what he said? I'm gonna kill the people. I mean, that were accomplice or whatever. That he was an accomplice. He could have said he, and they fucking took the killer to his home. He was standing there 2 feet from him, and meanwhile the guy was, crying, and so of course he's angry. So he killed Chris, shot him through the head, And then at some point at the end of the movie, um, this guy that I told you, that the radio host, we only see his mouth. We never see his face. It's weird. They get Anthony on the line, and he's really, I mean, this radio guy is really giving it to him, really giving it to him, but in a sort of almost super sarcastic way and calm way. And then Anthony's like, I don't appreciate your sarcasm, and I don't appreciate you killing dozens of people. He's like that, and he says, and then he says, "Okay, I'm gonna stop here. These were the worst 2 minutes of my life." Plonk, and he stops it. And then the movie kind of stops, and then there's a YouTube video where he's basically explaining to people that he's cured, takes a lot of medication, and that they're asking him questions like, which famous athlete would you kill? Okay, I have to think about that. I'll probably take a swimmer. Yeah, they're very stretchy. They're not bulky, you know. I mean, the movie is just like I said. There's a comedic thing going on, but it's actually very, very, very morbid and very fucked up. But at this, like I said, at the same time, you have this killer who doesn't know that he's actually in the wrong, and yeah, he looks at humans like deer. You know, they hunt deer, so why not hunt humans? Yeah, that's his way of thinking. But he does visually get upset that he basically killed that little girl, and how the father reacted. And his mom died. Oh, and his mom died because apparently Anthony, when he visited her, he gave her human meat. And apparently, the reason why she died was because of the human meat. There was something in the human meat that wasn't good for her, and that's the reason why she died. So, also fucked up. But again, I recommend it. It's okay. It's disgusting in the beginning, but then it gets less disgusting. Then it's more how he tries to, avoid the law. But like I said, how stupid can you be if you think from the get-go in this movie that these two documentarians who are following a serial killer, and then they're gonna release the movie, all what he's done in detail, and they're gonna survive, and he's gonna let them go, right? It's even the thought that he actually okay, let's bring him on. I mean, maybe he thought, oh no, 2 pieces of fresh meat, but even then he befriends them at some point. Yeah. So it's weird. It's really, really weird. Yeah. But it's a good movie. Like I said, I was kind of entertained. I was entertained, not in a way that, oh, he's killing and he's showing the asshole shit. That was way too much. But then after that, how he does it, the way he does it, and then the weird interactions between the documentarians, the guy who's always puking, it was kind of funny. He was always puking. Um, and I wanted to know what's gonna happen at the end, because I know it's not gonna end well for these guys. But apparently, one got away and almost was a multi-millionaire, but he gets shot through the head. Basically, karma, I guess, right? Uh, Again, it's a good movie. I recommend it. It's not one of these cheap found footage movies. They really put the time in it. Long Pigs 2007. Give it a watch. Maybe you're gonna like it too. Bye.